Here's your badass monthly guidance for Phoenix-led transformation. For you copper phoenixes, time is a ticking away for you. For my iron phoenixes, look at that peace and quiet. This is going to be a great month for you. Silver phoenixes, okay, it's all about innovation, walking into something brand spanking new. Gold phoenixes, get out of your heads. Let's meditate, not ruminate. Platinum phoenixes, that wolf might be something that you can tame. It might be there for you. It might be there because it's got something important to tell you. Liquid diamonds, past energies that have allowed you to feel that innocence, that wonder of a child, and bring that into your present moment now. Hello all, Stacy the Black Feather Intuitive, and welcome to Ruffle Your Feathers. So for those of you who are new to me, you want to find out what your Phoenix personality type is. So go to my website, theblackfeatherintuitive.com, and click on Find Your Phoenix. It's a less than 2-minute quiz, and it'll let you know whether you are a copper phoenix, iron, silver, gold, platinum, or a liquid diamond phoenix. And then come back and watch the video, because we are going to get right into the heart of your personality type, your Phoenix type, and what is going on with your transformational energy at this time. All right, without further ado, we are going to be pulling cards from the Oracle of Visions, and this is by Ciro Marchetti. And my gold phoenix, my copper phoenixes, what have we got for you guys at this time? Okay, so it is time for you guys to, I want to say, get out of the fray. You've got a lot of things around you. There's a lot that's going on around you. I want to say you're a lot of irons in the fire, juggling too many things. And I feel like the issue for you right now is about commitment. You've committed to too many things. You know, you're nice guys, you're nice gals, right? You are like, okay, yeah, I'll say yes to this, and I want to be helpful for you with that. But I want to say there are only so many hours in a day, and there's only one of you. So I feel like this is reevaluating what you are absolutely committing yourself to, and then giving yourself permission to say, you know what, I would love to help you out, but I'm going to have to say no this time. You know, it's just not going to work out for me in this way. I'm also really drawn in this picture to the rat or the mouse. And I feel like right now you really want to be paying attention to where you're scurrying around, and you're kind of, I want to say, like accepting the crumbs from other people, accepting the crumbs in certain situations because you're avoiding conflict, or because you just don't have enough time, or you haven't blocked out enough time for yourself to really sit, get still, and decide what it is that you absolutely need. This is going to be a really interesting window of time for you guys, where you want to be making sure that all of your choices and all of the things physically that you're putting into the body are nourishing you, but also all of the things that you're watching, all of the things that you're saying yes to, the individuals that you're engaging with are nourishing, and not just breadcrumbing everything, because you don't have the time and the space and the energy for the breadcrumbing. I feel like your energy is precious right now, and it's important for you to eliminate this breadcrumbing and the scurrying around and trying to just, find this and find that and find the other thing and make do. Nope. Making do is not where it's at for you guys, copper. So figure out what it is that you want, say yes to it, and move forward. Okay, now we are connecting for our iron phoenixes. And irons, your creativity approach at this time, I feel, is like taking a hiatus. Like you need a little bit of distance from the energy that is causing you to flow and move forward. I feel like a sense of burnout coming up for you guys right now. So take a step back and maybe like write out your inspirations, write out your plans, create a plan for it. And then you can lean in afterwards. Yes. Oh my God. It makes so much sense. So you're needing time out. You're needing a rest. And I want to say, as much as I am a creative soul and I love to be in that flow of creation and the joy that it brings and all the things and the stuff, there is an ebb and a flow to creation for a reason. And we need that ebb. And I feel like this is your ebb time. So, irons, yes, there's a lot that I want to say, are being inspired to do. There's a lot that's on your to do list. Prioritize. This is not a time for you guys to multitask as much as possible. I mean, life happens, right? And life is one big fat multitasking experience, basically. But I feel like for you guys, where you have option, where you have choice, eliminate, streamline. Put your focus to making sure that you're taking time for meditation. You're taking time out to just kind of connect with yourself, connect with source energy. The inspiration is still going to be there on the other side of it. But burnout, if you burn yourself out, it's going to take 4 times as long to recharge and to feel like your love cup is full and overflowing to a point where you can actually get shit done. So I also am seeing like universal frying pan to the head. So be careful. Sometimes if we're not listening to what our guides are telling us and they're trying to tell us, slow down or take a break or you need to recharge or to rest up and you're not listening, they're going to continue to give you, things to try and course correct you. And then if you're not listening, they're going to give you a cold and knock you on your ass for 3 days, or they're going to sprain your ankle so that you can't move. And all you have to do is stay put. And then you get the rest and the recharge. Then you're in that space of receiving. So save yourself the trouble. You don't need an injury. You don't need an illness. This is about saying, okay, universe, I'm going to take a couple of days and I'm just going to relax, rest up, recharge. I'm not going to drive the bus, and I'm going to allow that creative flow to come through me and record it for later, knowing that maybe it just needs a little time to percolate. Or if I'm trying to bulldoze and push through, it's not going to work out and it's not going to be fun and enjoyable anyway. So what the fark, right? Okay, now we are at our silver phoenixes. Silver phoenixes, things are just not going to feel good for a little while. Things are not going to go your way. I feel like this is a window of time where you want to just maybe interesting, take a step back. That seems to be a theme for a lot of us Phoenix personalities at this time. But I see that it's about taking a step back and sort of observing what's going on and really making a concerted effort to decide where you want to interject yourself. Things are going to go a little bit sideways. It feels like it might not be Mercury retrograde time, but it feels a little bit like that, where like technology is weird or scheduling is off, or miscommunication where people are thinking that you're getting together for one situation and so they come prepared for something else, and you're coming prepared for, to talk about the big thing that you've been waiting on for so long, right? So I want to say be in surrender and radical acceptance of what is, so that you can be more in a space of flexibility and flow with what is presenting itself. You're going to have all the things that you need at the time. But if you're too rigid, I feel like just a lot of frustration. So let's see. Oh yeah. So you've got a lot of like complicated strings, a lot of, it's like anything. When we collaborate with others, collaboration is fun, but it also can be a little more overcomplicating, right? You've got, I know, just went through this. My poor assistant, Marianne, had to arrange a schedule with 5 different people who were all in different time zones and trying to figure that out. And one of them was in Europe. So it was like a 9-hour difference. So like trying to schedule a time where everybody could, sort of participate, and like all the back and forth emails and, does this work and this approval, and, people getting confused with their own, time zones. It was insane, right? So I feel like this for you guys, for you silvers, it's about understanding that, yeah, there's a lot that's going on. And if you're not taking the step back and observing and being really intentional about what you are choosing to do, all of these strings, all of these threads are going to get tangled up. They're going to get balled up. And what you're going to get is not the beauty of the rainbow. You're going to get a tangled mess of, knots and weird strings and frustration and like just no flow, right? I'm also feeling here that this is a window of time where there is a beautiful energy of wanting to create something new. But if you notice, we've got an old style sewing machine here. And I feel like, yes, you want to create something new, but you want to also kind of review the history of how it used to be done so that that can inform you and lay foundation for the new that you are going to create. So I'm hearing, don't dismiss the old. I'm not saying you have to use an old approach to create what you want to create. In fact, I feel like it's the exact opposite. You're not going to use the same approach, but you are going to use the old approach to inform what the new approach is going to look like. And that's going to make the process so much better. Okay, now we are at our gold phoenixes, and let's see what we got for you guys today. Oh, very interesting. So it's funny that I was just talking about foundation with the silvers because we also now have a 40, which is a 4, which is foundational. And I am feeling a lot of that energy that's coming up for you guys. Big expectations are showing up for you at this time. And I feel like these are expectations that are external, expectations that others have of you. But you're the timekeeper. You're the only one who knows how long something's going to take you or how short of a time it's going to, require. And I feel like you need to be the timekeeper. I keep hearing the phrase, we teach others how we wish to be treated. And I feel like that's exactly what you want to lean into. That's going to be your mantra for this next window of time. I'm seeing the number 6. So I want to say like 6 weeks. It's understanding that you get to set the tone, even though it might be like a meeting with your boss, for example. You have the ability to say to your boss who says, I need this done in 3 days. You have the ability to say, I'm going to do my best, but realistically, this is actually going to take me 7 days or 3 weeks, not 3 days. And here's why. And like explain what your reasonings are. Set the tone, because if you're always trying, for some of you it's going to be people pleasing, for others of you it's going to be, okay, the pressure is on to get this done, but it's an unrealistic deadline. And I just need to speak that out. I need to, have someone understand that what you're asking me to do is near impossible. And I'm going to do the best I can, but let's put some realism to this situation. I'm also feeling here when I'm looking at the hourglass here, I'm also feeling that for some of you, there's like a personal pressure that you're putting on yourselves. It's almost like I'm not where I thought I would be at this point in my life. And so I'm not happy with that. And so I'm trying to, move the needle. I'm trying to accelerate my growth or push past something. It's really important for you to understand that you're exactly where you are right now, because that's exactly where you're supposed to be from that spiritual perspective. Let go of the ego, because the ego voice is always going to tell you that you need to be doing something else. But that's not necessarily true. It's like feelings, right? Feelings are neither true nor false. They simply are. And they can educate you and point you in a direction as to where, maybe certain traumas there, or, there are wounds that need to be healed, or that this is the heart of the matter that we're trying to, adjust or connect into or embrace. Again, this is you setting the tone. So give yourself permission to, I want to say like throw time out the window and just really be in the sporadic energy of organic creation, organic workflow. What feels good to you as you are moving forward? Let that be your motivation and your driving force. It's going to be a big one for you guys for goals. All right, platinum phoenixes. Ooh, so this window of time for you guys, I'm also seeing 6 weeks, 6 to 7 weeks. It feels a bit heavy, and here's why it feels heavy. I feel like you're biting off more than you can chew. You are also like exhausted from an experience. Like you're just like, I just want this thing to be done and over with so that I don't have to deal with it ever again. It feels like there's no joy in what you're dealing with, or what you thought was going to be joy has turned into work, and really intense work. And so I'm seeing a reframe of the story for you, in terms of like how to be able to get done what needs to get done, or to really be able to discern when it's not your circus, not your monkeys. And that feels really important. Yeah. So breaking the mold, breaking out of the illusion of what is. Here we are having this snow globe, and we have this, horse, the merry-go-round horse, and the spirit of the horse is breaking out and saying, you thought that I was an illusion, you thought that I wasn't real, but here I am, and I have something to offer. I have something to share with the world at large. And I feel like for you guys, this is really I want to say coming up for you, because you can't any longer work within a box. I'm feeling a lot of this energy of limitation coming up, and that's part of the reason why you're frustrated and you just want this thing to be done and over with. But don't cut your nose off to spite your face. It might not be that you don't need that thing per se. It might be that it's the approach that you're taking that is stressful. It might be that there's an illusion that you're living under, or limitation. You've been, put into this glass ball. I often think about these poor fish that just float around in this tiny little bowl. Like, what kind of life is that? Fish belong in like a big body of water where they can, go and swim. They have, miles and miles and miles and miles to explore. And here we put them in a tiny little fish bowl. You know what I mean? So I feel like what's transpiring for you guys at this time is an awareness of where limitation has got your back up against the wall. And yeah, you're frustrated. You're ready to blow as a result of that. But that's actually a positive thing, because it means I've outgrown this space. I'm no longer going to be, at the mercy of someone else's needs or whims or desires. I need to be more a part of my own life, my own vision, what it is that I'm wanting to experience, what it is that I'm wanting to be a part of. There's definitely a component of not collaboration, but like, what am I contributing? You want to have a say in that. So break free of limitation. You're going to notice a lot of different incidents, events, opportunities that are going to help you to break out of that. So listen to that. It's important. All right, liquid diamonds. What do we have for you guys this month? That's interesting. I said this month, so I feel we're dealing with a 4-week window for you guys. Wow. Okay. Stop sacrificing yourself for the needs of others, or the whims of others, or the wants of others. I'm feeling like this is a month where we need some, like this is Ruffle Your Feathers, badass guidance for Phoenix led transformation, right? So I feel like what's happening here is there's a little victim-y stuff that's kind of creeping in. And you want to step into your badass warrior goddess energy or god energy. You want to remember that, yeah, you do have wings. And most of the individuals you're dealing with don't, or they're not aware of their own wings, or they don't want you to remember that you have wings, because then that means that now you're uncontrollable, or your own power, where your freedom lies. And that might mean that you decide to fly free somewhere else, and then they don't get the things that they need. I'm really feeling all of this, like what is that saying, like martyr complex, victim mentality. And like, I'm not calling you guys out, like saying everybody is like to the extreme of this, but I am feeling that these are the themes that you're going to be dealing with. And you don't want to be, just hearing, don't get caught with your pants down. So not exactly, victim or whatever, but there it is. Don't get caught with your pants down. Be very aware of the choices that are facing you. Be aware of what is in your environment. Be aware of the resources that you have at your fingertips. And maybe don't move forward on something unless you're completely aligned with it, unless it makes some sense to you and where you feel that you can actually get it done without having to turn yourself into a pretzel or to sacrifice yourself. Step into your power. This doesn't mean you got to kick everybody to the curb and it has to be, a big, a conflict of interest or, confrontation. But what I do feel is it's standing strong in your power. This is going to be a window of time where you're going to be reminded of your skill set, reminded of the experiences that you have been through, so that you can say, oh, yeah, I don't need to respond or react in this way or this way to this situation because I've actually already grown beyond that. Or, oh, I've been here before, so I know exactly how to deal with this situation. And in that way, you're releasing yourself from getting caught up in the drama, in the sludge of the tides of what is coming up and coming through. And I feel like that's going to be really important. This is about you empowering yourself. No one else is going to empower you. You've got to do it yourself. So don't get caught with your pants down. All right, guys, that is your Ruffle Your Feathers badass guidance for Phoenix-led transformation. So excited to have connected with you guys in this way. If you need a little help, you need a little assistance, you're, going through the shit, and you could really, use some support or guidance, click on the link below, book a session with me. Would love to connect with you guys. Until we see you for another episode of Black Feather Couture, Defining a VIP Life, we will see you on the flip side and transform well.